Travel with me.
Hey fellow humans, Mina here. Welcome back to another Drive Talk, Hanoi edition. Or possibly Korea edition, I don't know. I'll find out when I'm editing, and you'll find out while watching, because I'm running low on my Hanoi footage, and therefore I might be going back to Korea footage soon, though I might still have some Japan footage from 2019 left over. I don't know, we'll see. You'll know whatever I use when you see this video, and I'll know too when I'm editing, but at the current moment in time, I'm recording this on my phone, and thus, it's a mystery. But yeah, this week, we are doing a 2-for-1 deal, and yes, we are still talking about the Throne of Glass series, and we're nearing the end now, but I did a tandem read of the last two second-to-last books. I don't know, that sentence could have used some work, but anyway, you'll find out. You know what I mean, hopefully. But yeah, the books we are talking about today is book 5 and 6, or book 6 and 7, depending on your reading order. The books are Empire of Storms and Tower of Dawn by Sarah J. Maas. So yeah, the person who I bought this book series from thankfully did all of the hard work of putting tabs together. So shout out to them because I certainly wouldn't have done it. I just would have read Empire of Storms and then went to Tower of Dawn. But honestly, tandem reading is the way to go. But first, I'll give a quick synopsis of each book, and then we'll do a review of both books at the same time. So if you're reading this series and you don't plan on tandem reading, or if you're not here yet and you plan on reading the series in general, it's a rant and rave as usual. We loved it, but we also have some issues, and you know how it goes here. So yeah, first of all, the blurb for Empire of Storms. War is brewing in the 5th book. The long path to the throne has only just begun for Aelin Galathius. As war looms on the horizon, loyalties have been broken and bought, friends have been lost and gained, and those who possess magic find themselves increasingly at odds with those who don't. With her heart sworn to warrior prince by her side and her fealty pledged to the people she is determined to save, Aelin will delve into the depths of her powers to protect those she loves. But as monsters emerge from the horrors of her past, dark forces stand poised to claim her world. The only chance for salvation lies in a desperate quest that may take more from Aelin that she is ready to give. A quest that forces her to choose what and who she is willing to sacrifice for the sake of peace. And now for the blurb of Tower of Dawn. And by the way, I forgot to mention, I haven't listened to the audiobooks, so I don't know how these characters' names are pronounced half the time, because they're a little tricky, so this is my headcanon. If you pronounce them differently, if you know how to pronounce correctly, let me know in the comments down below. Anyway, Tower of Dawn. Kale, Westfall, and Nesrin Falic have arrived in the shining city of Antica to forge an alliance with the Khagan of the southern continent, whose vast armies are Aurelia's last hope. But they have also come to Antica for another purpose, to seek healing at the famed Torre Sesame for the wounds Kale received in Rifthold. After enduring unspeakable horrors as a child, Yrene Towers has no desire to help the young lord from Darlin, but let alone heal him. Yet she has sworn an oath to assist those in need, and will honor it. But Lord Westfall carries shadows from his own past, and Yrene soon comes to realize that they could engulf them both. And thus, we are ready to dive in to the review. So as a note, I tandem read Empire Storms and Tower of Dawn, so this review will contain spoilers for both novels. I'm also going to review both books at the same time, so this is a 2-for-1 deal. Merry Christmas. Both books receive a high rating, by the way, despite their flaws. Rants and raves ahead. First, since I did a tandem read, I would like to tell anyone out there who plans on reading the Throne of Glass series to also do a tandem read. Thankfully, the previous owner, as I mentioned, of my copies left all the tabs with what chapter to read and when, which was super helpful. Not sure where you can find it online, probably TikTok, on how to mark the books, but if you can do it, do it. While it makes the two books into one super giant book, because they're already both pretty chunk. It's a much more enjoyable read, and the timelines match up almost perfectly page-wise. There would be times when I would finish one chapter and a major thing would happen in that chapter, only to read the other book and find out that the characters in that book just have heard of the event that I just read in the other book. I think that if I read them separately, I would have forgotten some of the events, and the impact when reading about them in the other book would have diminished. I love both of these books, don't get me wrong. I think, and maybe this is because I did a tandem read of the two massive books at once, a lot was going on, however. New characters, new lands, and many side plots that, yes, do all eventually lead to one in their own books, but yeah, there is a reason these books were massive. Speaking of massive, while I love Tower of Dawn, I wonder if I read it separately, if I would feel differently about it. I almost feel like so much happened, yet not a lot at the same time. Yes, we learned some vital information, but did we really need a 600-plus page book about it? We could have easily heard everything when Cal and company met up with the rest of the gang in just a few paragraphs. Yes, we wouldn't have feel much about Irene's character and her relationship with Cal, but maybe that may be all we'd be missing. Tower of Dawn was still a great book, though, and I think Mass felt bad for how she treated Cal in the last book, so she gave him a whole-ass book of his own to redeem himself, which I think he did. I still think she did him dirty by having his back broken not once, but twice, but it does make for a good story, so I guess I'm not complaining. I will say, though, that after finish Empire of Shadows, that the stakes in Tower of Dawn didn't feel as high. A lot happened in Empire of not Shadow Storms. A lot happened in Empire Storms. Well, but I will admit I didn't care for Alien's POV in this book. I don't know why, and I usually do. And when Alien and company were in Skull's Bay, I found that those chapters were meh. I couldn't wait to read the other characters' POV, like Elide or Manon. At least Alien's POV became interesting in the end. All those scenes with her being whipped, damn, I felt that. I love how this series keeps getting darker and darker, and I'm here for it. Actually, the darker the story gets, the more I'm invested. The first two books were good, but they hold nothing on how the story is now. I think having Alien stuck in Rift Hole in a castle hindered the story. I enjoyed the stories, but the stakes were meh compared to what they are now. Like, the first two books, they were good, but like I said before, they only just keep getting better and better. While she may not be the most likable MC at times, Aelin really did suffer and in turn grew as a character over the series. I'm curious to see how this massive group of characters meets and does whatever it needs to be done in the last book, which is coming next week. I will say I didn't see Maeve being a Val coming, so props to Mass. I should have, but I really didn't. But maybe that is why she can have so many blood oaths and she's not really Fae. Because I've always wondered why Aedion was so pissed at Aelin for giving Rowan the blood oath. Like, Maeve had so many, so couldn't Aelin still give Aedion one too? That said, the way Empire of Storms ended, I'm ready to feel all the feels for Kingdom of Ash. Again, I'm not sure if I still feel the same if I'd read Tower of Dawn solo right before Kingdom of Ash, but yeah. Anywho, that is my thoughts on two books, Tower of Dawn and Empire of Storms. Again, I highly recommend, if you can, tandem read these books because it does make the read a lot longer and you got to carry around two massive chunks of books, but or on a Kindle, or your ebook reader. I don't know how you would tandem read on an ebook reader, but I'm sure there's a way out there. TikTok, I'm sure, has a method, but yeah. How about you guys, my fellow humans? If you've read this series, did you tandem read this book like I did, or did you read them separately? And were your feelings the same, or did you think it would have been better if you read them tandemly? Let me know in the comments down below. Anywho, that's all I gotta say for now. If you want to keep hearing more about stuff, be sure to follow me on all your favorite socials. Little links below. Stay safe and take care. Bye!